I hadn't seen my mother in over 2 years. Work had swallowed me whole, long hours, constant travel, building my startup from the ground up, but no matter where I was, I kept helping. I paid her bills, fixed her roof, even wiped out her $58,000 mortgage without telling her. I thought it would be the ultimate gift: freedom, security, peace. She never said thank you, never called, not even a text. I told myself she was busy, maybe overwhelmed, so when I finally had time off, I booked a 13-hour flight from Zurich for Thanksgiving. I wanted to surprise her. I showed up with her favorite yellow roses and pumpkin pie from a bakery she loved. As I stood on her front steps, heart pounding, I felt like a kid again, hopeful. The door opened. She looked exactly the same: perfect bun, glasses slipping down her nose, cardigan wrapped tight, but instead of joy, her face hardened. "What are you doing here?" "Surprising you," I said. "It's Thanksgiving." She glanced behind her. Laughter spilled from inside. My siblings, their spouses, kids, everyone but me. I hadn't been invited. "I flew across the world to see you. You should have called. I wanted to surprise you." She stepped outside and shut the door. "Surprises," she said coldly, "are for people who belong." Then she waved to the security guard at the gate. "He's not welcome." I didn't argue. I just walked away, roses in one hand, pie in the other, suitcase dragging behind me. I didn't look back. That night, in my hotel room, I pressed one button and started something none of them saw coming. Because it hadn't started with Thanksgiving, it had started years ago, after Dad died. Back then, I dropped everything to support her, paid the mortgage, handled the funeral, took unpaid leave. My siblings, Rachel and Ben, offered words and social media posts but little else. Over time, the requests piled up: Rachel's car repairs, Ben's bridge loans, bills, debts. I said yes, again and again, until it became a system. I was the ATM, they were the VIPs. Even when I cleared Rachel's $9,000 credit card debt, she celebrated on Instagram from a luxury Airbnb. Ben's $5,000 NFT venture vanished without a trace. And Mom? She played helpless while quietly co-signing loans in my name. The mortgage payoff was supposed to be my final, silent gift, but instead of gratitude, I got a text from Rachel: "House is paid off, guess you've got cash now. Ben needs rent." No thanks, no love, just more taking. That Thanksgiving at her doorstep wasn't a shock, it was the confirmation I'd been avoiding. I wasn't family to them, I was a walking credit line. And I had just decided to shut it down. They didn't know I hadn't slept through the night in months, that I'd skipped vacations for 3 years, that my startup was bleeding cash and I'd stopped taking a salary just to keep my team afloat. They didn't ask, because they didn't care. The only call I got from Mom that month was about her Amazon account. "Your card must have expired," she said, annoyed. Not even a hi. That's when I planned the surprise. I thought maybe showing up would reset something, remind her I was more than a bank account, that I was her son. I didn't tell anyone, just booked the 13-hour flight, grabbed yellow roses and pumpkin pie, rented an Airbnb nearby. But when she opened the door, she didn't smile. "Surprises are for people who belong," she said. Then she called security. That night, shaking with rage, I pressed one button, not a petty tweet, a full expose, receipts, screenshots, the spreadsheet. I blurred names, but told the truth. 5 hours later, I hit post. It went viral overnight. Therapists quoted me, influencers med. A celebrity retweeted, "Families don't get to exploit you just because you share blood." Rachel texted, "Are you insane? Take it down." "Ben, you're ruining Mom's reputation." Mom finally called, voice coded in sweetness and threat. "You've made your point, now clean it up." Rachel's job's at risk. Ben's landlord is asking questions, and people at church are talking. I stared at the screen, then called her back. "I'm coming over, be there in 30. When I arrived, Ben's car was in the driveway, Rachel's SUV too. Perfect. Mom opened the door, tight-lipped. Rachel blared from the stairs. Ben leaned in the kitchen doorway like he was ready to cross-examine me. "Finally ready to apologize?" Rachel sneered. "Sit down," I said. They didn't move. I said, "Sit down." I tossed a folder on the table, printed proof of every dollar I'd given them in 6 years. "You think I embarrassed you online? I've been cleaning up your messes quietly for years, while you mocked me behind my back." Ben scoffed. You offered to help. No, I was manipulated. You played the family card until my wallet shut. Mom's voice rose. Because you humiliated us. No, you humiliated yourself. I paid off your mortgage $58,000 and you didn't even send a text. You planned a Thanksgiving dinner without me. Rachel slammed her glass down. You're not a saint just because you make more money. No, but I'm also not your walking wallet. Ben stood to tower over me. You think money makes you better? No, but it opened my eyes. I pulled out another envelope. Remember co-signing Ben's loan without telling me? That's financial fraud. I've had it reassigned. It's yours now, Ben. Ben went pale. Rachel stared like I'd grown horns. You're being vindictive, she said. No, I'm setting boundaries. I looked each of them in the eye. This was never about money. It was about respect, and none of you have shown me any. Mom shook her head. You've made your point. Are you happy now? No, I said, but I will be. I opened my banking app, one tap, transfer cancelled, automatic payments gone, Apple Pay to Mom's Amazon, disconnected, Ben's credit card backup email, removed. I smiled, happy Thanksgiving. This time, I didn't slip out quietly, no tears, no flinch, just the hollow calm of something burned to ash. I was done. Done being the strong one, done carrying them while they drained me dry. Back at my Airbnb, I poured a drink and muted my phone. Online, my story had passed 100,000 shares. Therapists, strangers, reporters, everyone had something to say, but one comment cut through everything. The people who call you cruel are the ones who fed off your silence. I read it 10 times. It was true. The next morning, I flew back to Zurich. As the plane lifted, so did the wait. No Venmo emergencies, no inbox ambushes, just silence. I blocked them all. The first week felt strange, like guilt should arrive any moment, but it never did. Instead, there was peace. I slept, worked, took midnight walks, booked a weekend in the Alps. Then the ripple hit. Rachel posted a vague family shouldn't be transactional rant. Old screenshots leaked, her bragging about milking her rich brother. Post deleted within 24 hours. Ben stayed quiet until his boss called me. Ben had listed me as a reference. I didn't confirm or deny. He was fired that week. Mom played the victim, hosting a smaller Thanksgiving and telling everyone I'd turned against family. But cracks spread. Extended relatives reached out, not to scold me, but to thank me. An aunt, now I understand how much they put on you. A cousin, you gave me courage. Even Mom's estranged sister, she did the same to me. You walked away, I didn't. That's when I realized I hadn't broken the family, I'd just stopped holding it together. 3 weeks later, Ben showed up at my office. He looked wrecked. I messed up, he said. No excuses, no demands. He'd paid off the loan in my name. I'm fixing what I can. I'm sorry. I nodded. That was enough. I never went back, not for holidays, not for birthdays. Mom's last text before I blocked her, you were always the difficult one. If you tried harder, we wouldn't be here. I laughed out loud. I had tried so hard I kept 3 lives afloat while they called me selfish. They didn't miss me, they missed the services I provided. Now I'm thriving, sleeping, hiking, planning a month off next spring with no emergencies waiting. Do I regret going public? Not for a second. Sometimes shame is the only language abusers understand. I didn't burn bridges, I just stopped paving them alone.